You are listening to Everything Emersons, a community podcast brought to you by Emerson's Green Village Hall. We are sponsored by Emerson's Green Town Council and produced by Project Soundbox from Inclusive Change at Work.
Hey there, it's Lucy here at Everything Emerson's, part of Future Voices, which is a podcast talking all about what's going on in the community in Emerson's Green. We have just been listening to our podcasts that we created last week and the interviews with Shea Stew, who is the youth worker or youth liaison officer in Emerson's Green. We also talked to James Hunt, who's the mayor of Emerson's Green. And we spoke to Stuart Russ, who is the chairman, and basically sounded like he does everything at Emerson's Green Junior Football Club. So I'm here with Tom and Libby and Jazz, and Carly and Tom as well. What have you gotten out of listening to those interviews? What came out of those interviews from you to this morning?
Probably the reminder of what was actually said.
Yeah.
Because at the time, it sort of focusing on what I'm going to say next, don't mess it up, sort of listen. So I couldn't, reminding what was said.
A really good reminder of what was said, because when you're in it and you're in the midst of doing those questions, your brain is probably either going to the next question or you're thinking maybe something else. And then it's like, oh, I've got to ask a question now. What next? What about you, Jazz? What came out of that for you?
I think because we did all 3 interviews all in one day, we didn't maybe get a chance to listen to the final product of one and then apply what we should learn from that to the next. So I think just sitting there and listening to them, maybe next time I'd just learn a few lessons, maybe asking people if there's anything they want to say beforehand. So I think at the end we'd be like, oh, do you have anything else to add? But maybe if beforehand we'd be like, oh, are there any topics you want to talk about? And then we can ask questions about what they want to discuss, maybe.
Yeah, definitely, I think. And do you think it was a busy day? So there was a lot going on. Anything we could have learned about spacing it out or giving ourselves a bit more time?
Maybe. I feel like for me it worked fine.
Yeah.
Because I feel like maybe if you were to be feeling a bit anxious, I just felt like I didn't get a chance to be bothered, so I just got on with it. So for me it worked.
It was literally boom, just do it. And there wasn't much anxiety I could see from either of you who were doing the interviews. What about the conversations? Shea was really interesting, wasn't he, around things like the things he's done in his past. And there was so much that came out of that interview. What hit you and what do you remember from those interviews?
I really want to know what this epic bus looks like.
Yeah, he talked about his mobile bus, his mobile youth centre.
Can't wait to see that.
Yeah, that would be really cool. What else did you get from those interviews?
It's quite interesting to find out what he actually does, and what he has done in the past. Quite interesting. He's a lot to say. Our longest interview of the day.
Yeah.
But it was good. Kept us engaged.
Yeah.
It was really interesting to find out that information.
He's very positive about his ADHD and how it's a superpower for him, and how he's used it throughout his career to get to where he is.
One of the things I noticed was both Shea and James talked about being neurodivergent and both ADHD. What differences or similarities did you notice from either of them?
They were almost opposites.
Yeah, I found that really interesting, and I thought it was great to see that opposite aspect, and that no two people who have ADHD are the same. Yeah. Anything else that came out of Shea's interview for you, Jess?
Maybe not specifically, but all of them together. I think it was interesting to see how they obviously do work all together to kind of help create a community here. They've all got a different role to play, and then speaking to all of them, seeing how it all.
So James's interview was talking about what they want to do for young people, and it's how could we translate what James talks about into a language and in a way that young people will engage with? Is there anything that could come out of that for them? Anything that you'd like to say to them, or a suggestion that you might make?
This is what I said earlier. Maybe, kind of having if I'm going to forget names, Shea, understanding, maybe he does already and I just don't know, but understanding more of what James does or what's discussed in these meetings that James mentioned, people like tapping into, and then kind of, I don't know, maybe using social media as a way of getting younger people into what's going on. So like doing maybe a summary online or something, or maybe opening those discussions up when he's doing his DJ like public sessions and stuff and talking to people about what's actually
Dropping it
going on.
into that
what they're doing,
conversation.
yeah.
When the beat drops, you can drop that conversation at the same time. Yeah, you never know. Yeah, no, I think that's a really good idea, that link, and making politics relevant to that younger community.
You're listening to Everything Emersons.
So what about James's interview? What did you make and what did you take away from James's conversation?
I thought his discussions on neurodiversity was really good, interesting, and obviously provided this like not anecdote but discussion on like the left-handed. That was like interesting to hear, and I think both of them actually spoke about it really positively. It wasn't like a negative hindrance, but just a way of like understanding that they work in a certain way and that everyone's like different.
Yeah, I like that.
Yes, I think it was that acceptance that everybody does work differently and there's not one mold that fits, that works. So it's approaching everyone and being understanding.
Yeah, no, I think that was really good. Anything from you guys? So the last person that we interviewed on the day, and bearing in mind it was after lunch, and every time we've had lunch, it's like we like to have a little bit of a break after lunch, a little bit of a rest. But the last person we interviewed on the day was Stuart Russ, who was from Emerson's Green Junior Football Club, JFC, Emerson's Green JFC. What came out of that interview for any of you?
I think his passion was quite obvious, and how much involvement he's got in the club and how hard he works to make it survive and make it work. That was really obvious.
Yeah.
I was literally going to say the same thing. Like, nice to see how much he cares about making the space for girls to be able to do, I don't know, what everyone are, like what boys are doing.
Yeah. No. What about you, Tom?
Not a football fan.
Yeah, I'm not a football fan, don't know much. But yeah, it was quite interesting what he was saying about what it can do for people, bringing people together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting
Making
you
those friends.
Yeah.
making friends, having memories that will stick with you forever. Again, like you guys, the passion came out really strongly. And when he mentioned about another football club, I think he spoke about Lyde Green and them having an all-weather pitch, and he'd love to have an all-weather pitch. I'm like, I just want them, they sound like the underdog, and I just want them to get the money to get an all-weather pitch. And I can see a whole film being made about the club that gets an all-weather pitch and turns everything around.
They need a celebrity like Wrexham.
Yes, yes, they do. So we need to find a celebrity sponsor or a celebrity person to champion the underdogs of Emerson's Green.
Could it please be David Beckham? I might help.
Or we could try. I know he's into bees at the moment, and I think he's somewhere in the Cotswolds, so he's not that far.
Yeah.
You never know.
Or you find someone who was born locally or
Yeah.
lived locally,
Yes, definitely.
which might work a bit better.
We did mention Stephen Merchant earlier, or is it Stephen Merchant? I never get the name right. Stephen Merchant, who was born and raised locally. So you never know. We might reach him, and there might be somebody that says, "Oh yeah, come on, let's start that GoFundMe for Emerson's Green Junior Football Club." So
We are talking about Everything Emersons.
So, in terms of the experience of making the recordings and doing those interviews last week, what will you take away from it?
Some of the things you guys have previously mentioned is you didn't realise the things that went into recording an episode. So if we go back a couple of weeks when we were doing a bit of practicing, you guys were talking about projecting your voice and how your voice sounds on the microphones, but also the preparing the questions. There's a lot more that went into it than you had anticipated originally.
Yeah, it was quite difficult for some of the questions, trying to find the information to actually write the questions to start with. Yeah, that was quite
That's when
difficult.
Libby came into an element, wasn't it?
Online
Detective.
research, open source research. Yeah, it can be hard to kind of think, oh, I've got nothing to go with here. What kind of questions do I ask sometimes? So yeah, I thought you did an absolutely amazing job.
Yeah.
Amazing. Jazz, is there anything you take away from this? Well, from what we did last week, was there anything that surprised you, or was there anything that you were like, actually, I really enjoyed that, or I really didn't like doing that?
No, I did really enjoy it. I think maybe going into kind of like what I said earlier, if we were to maybe do another one today, maybe for me making it feel more of a conversation and spending more time making them feel more relaxed instead of more of like obviously it is an interview, but like maybe less of an interrogation.
A bit more
Like,
natural.
yeah.
I think conversation style, when we ended up, when it got to that point in, I think it was Shay's, when we got to that point a few times, it flowed a lot nicer and it was definitely some of the more the more interesting information came out when we got to that conversational point.
Definitely, I'd certainly say that. I think, Jazz, you asked a question about how does music make you feel as a neurodivergent person?
Yeah.
And that answer, that just sparked a whole conversation.
Yeah.
And it was literal, like audio gold dust. I loved that. So thank you. Yeah.
Would you do it again?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I feel like it helped my confidence with it a bit.
Are you going to take it back to university and college? Will you discuss it with your friends?
Yeah.
Share what you've been doing?
Will you share?
I'll discuss it, then not. And I'm
Yeah,
not,
you're not going to give
I
it
will
a list,
discuss
are
it.
you? Yeah.
But I think it is interesting. And I think I have already spoken to some of my friends and I think they found it interesting as well. So yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I might share it with some people at school, like my sort of the send team.
Yeah.
Because there's good bits in here.
Yeah.
Them probably enjoy. Yeah. Don't think I'll share it that much, just because that's not really my thing.
We get it.
Yeah.
We get it.
I'm not going to tell my parents how to find this. They'll find it themselves, though.
We can do the sharing for you. That's fine. Yeah. A big part. So there's so many layers that have come out of this for me. This is the first time that we've run something like this in the community. We've obviously done podcasts before, Inclusive Change at Work, but this is the first time we've done something community-wise and in this way. And there's so much that has come out of it. You've got really great content for Emerson's Green, and Everything Emersons as a podcast and as a thing now exists, and it didn't 4 weeks ago. You've begun to start to talk to people within the community, and even simply connecting them together. Shay and James will already be connected. However, you can now connect Stuart into that as well, and between them, they might be able to do even more brilliant things together. But then the other layer is in every single interview, you ask them about neurodiversity. And you really just it wasn't in your face, and it wasn't like, it was very subtle, but it was like, this is what we talk about. And you have enabled every single one of them to talk about it in a way that hopefully it will inspire other people to A, talk about it, and B, if they are neurodivergent, see other people and go, that's me, that is. I can do that. I want a career in youth work. I want a career in politics. I want a career in football.
Even if they had to Google it to understand what the word is, I will still take that as a win.
Yeah.
Because that's still raising
They're
awareness
Yes.
for another person.
Yeah. Is there anything that you would like to say to anybody listening to encourage them to get involved in something like this, a project like this?
It's fun and it's interesting and it's like nice to meet different people. I feel like, because I've been obviously at uni, usually I'd come back and work and I haven't. And I guess when you're in a job, like you're meeting and working with people of different ages and different backgrounds, whereas obviously you meet a variety of people at uni, but it's like mostly the same age as you. So it's been nice to do something this summer where I'm speaking to like people from different areas and different ages and all doing different things. And that's like really nice. So I feel like that's a big pro for me, I think. And also just doing something new. Like, why wouldn't you try something out, I guess?
Thank you.
And,
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, same sort of lines. Because I spend limited time in this area, because of boarding school, it's nice to be able to do something here and meet people. Because I would not, I've got you guys like the first people I've actually met from this area on my own.
Wow.
Because it's difficult.
Yep.
Because everyone's already got all their groups.
School
And
friends.
I don't get out. Otherwise, I'm not a particularly social person. So I don't go out and try and talk to people. So yeah, this is like
Well
the
done.
first.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm a little bit overwhelmed by that myself, but
I think we are also very lucky that we've had an amazing group of people being
Yeah.
involved in this project,
Yeah.
because you guys are responsible for making it go so well. So thank you. And you've also made me think about like the commitment that you have as well, because it's your summer holidays, and I don't know many other young adults that would be giving up their time to get involved in a project that they didn't have to.
you didn't know
No one-
anything about this
Yeah.
beforehand, did you?
No one forced you here. There's no register. Well, your mum might have done, but you didn't have to come. You know, you didn't get paid. It's a volunteering experience. So I'm incredibly proud that you guys have given up your time to do that, and it's something I really respect as well.
Yeah, to be
Thank you.
honest, at this point in the summer holidays, I start to get bored, which
Get a bit
is
stir
to
crazy.
some people that's crazy. But I always like to be doing something. I've got projects, I've got stuff I can do at home, but sometimes I just need to do something else, something more like what I'd end up doing at school. And I need to be doing something. Otherwise, yeah, just get bored.
Thank you. Right, we'll wrap that up, I think. Thank you. Thank you for your chat. Thank you for your comments. I feel a little bit humbled and overwhelmed, to be quite honest with you. You've been listening to Future Voices here at Emerson's Green Village Hall. We've been talking about Everything Emersons, our podcast for the local Emerson's Green community. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to Everything Emersons from Emerson's Green Village Hall, sponsored and supported by Emerson's Green Town Council.